Hey, welcome to Mt.Coramba Apiculture. It's Saturday the 14th of September 2024. I'm at a new site. This is quite close to home at Nana Glen. These bees have been brought down from off the mountain, so I brought 12 hives down. The reason is that I've been offered actually a couple of hundred acres of white clover here, which I couldn't knock back. Downside is that I'm moving these hives back down to the mites, but we'll just have to deal with it. I just couldn't pass up this opportunity, I guess. So I've been through 8 of these hives yesterday. It was blowing a gale and there wasn't great conditions for filming, so I've left 4 today just to go through them. What we're doing is just getting back down into the brood box again and making sure this queen has got plenty of room to lay, checking for swarm cells and just making sure there's room for expansion and just to maximise the number of bees in these hives to take advantage of this this nectar flow off the white clover. So there's other stuff flowering as well, and a bit of turpentine poking through. I notice a bit of melaleuca or tea tree bottle brush. What else? Bit of turpentine starting to take off. I've even seen a bit of ironbark floating around. So yes, conditions are certainly improving. Although I've got no honey at all. I've got zero honey at the moment. I've had to knock a few retailers off because I just can't supply them. So I'm really sweating on getting some honey out of these bees. It should only be a week or 2, but yeah, things are a bit desperate at the moment. But that's just the way it is. It's the first time, since I've been keeping bees for a living that I've ever run out of honey, and yeah, that's down to the having my business turned upside down by varroa mites. Not that I've ever had any up till now, but yeah, just the unfortunate situation of being caught in a red zone, which almost destroyed my business. So let's get down and have a look at these. So I've got some green frames here, just trying to get them drawn so that I can use them for drone trapping. Let's see what's going on here. So that's looking good. They're drawing them nicely, and it's just an indication of the good conditions and the nectar flow that's going on now. So yeah, they're Pierco frames from the States. And yeah, they just had a little bit of hot wax roll on them, and those bees are starting to draw them nicely. They've got to walk up through them to get up into that top honey super, and there you go. So people that are dead against plastic frames, the bees will draw them given the right conditions. So the plan is to have them filled up with honey, and I'll extract them and use them for drone trapping. Right. Righto, so let's get down to this brood box and see what's going on. See, they're quite well populated. So bees covering every frame, and I can see brood, almost right through that brood box. So they will be looking for space. Let's just get in and have a look and see what's going on. Bit stroppy, touchy these bees. It's a nice frame of pollen, a little bit of brood, and you can see the pollen on that side, and pollen coming in on these bees' legs, so that looks good. We might look at taking that frame up. It's an old plastic frame that hasn't been fully drawn, so I want to maximise the amount of space in here. that they can be raising brood on. So a frame like that I'll be looking to pull up. Yeah, they're not wanting to play, these bees. A little bit touchy. So I'll just go through them quietly. So there's a frame of a half frame worker brood up here, drone brood down here, and I'll be using these for drone trapping as well. So they've drawn them out nicely. I've got well bees in Coffs Harbour to make these for me. I'll leave a link to the to how to find them in the comments, in the notes below the video, if you want to help them out and buy a few drone trapping frames. Keep working our way through here. Nice frame of brood, plenty of drones in here, which is an indication of the good season. So I'm just looking for the presence of swarm cells. I don't want these bees to swarm on me. It kind of wrecks any potential for honey production. A lot of drones in here. And there's our queen. There she go. There she is there. Quite a dark stripy queen. Let's grab her. She's safely in that cage, and I can now just do what I want to do. So we'll pull that comb up. And we'll pull that comb up as well. So they're the plastic ones that aren't just drawn terribly well. Let's have a quick look further through here. There's a nice fresh sticky that I would have put in the other day. Not quite laid up, but they'll get there. So that indicates to me that they're not under any pressure to swarm or anything like that. Yeah, and it's not laid up either, so that's good. There's no great urgency there to do too much to them, but we'll put some foundation in there to give them something to do. So that's the edge of the brood there. Let's get one in here. Push that over. Get one in there. And just put that wall comb back in again. So they look good. Let that queen go. There she goes. Back safe and sound. Queen excluded down. So, to make room for these couple of brood frames I've pulled up, just pull a couple of these undrawn green combs out and drop them in. There, nurse bees will come up through the queen excluder and look after them. And that's just relieved any pressure in that brood box. So that top box is quite heavy, but I can tell it's not heavy enough. Full of nectar and honey, but just needs to be capped and ripened before I can extract it. And hopefully in a week or so it should be pretty good to go. Look closer to the middle here. See a lot of white wax in there, so yeah, they've got that full around the edges a bit to fill up in the middle, and I can see white wax being put on it there. So yeah, they're getting to it. Hopefully the sun will shine for the next week or so. We had about 17 mil of rain the day before yesterday, which will help things along. Yeah, and hopefully we'll get some sun and get some nectar flowing off this white clover. Right, let's move on to this second hive. So I really haven't had much of a look in these since I brought them down here about a fortnight ago, so see what's going on. That looks promising. So bees right to the top, and when I look down I can see a lot of white wax in there. Let's have a quick look here first. I don't normally look in the honey super first. So that's full of nectar, which is good. Let's have a dig in here further. It's quite heavy and yeah, mostly full of nectar, so yeah, maybe a week or two and I'll have some honey. I can get back into business again. Let's get down to this brood box where all the action is. Down to that second super. Once again I've got a green frame in there trying to get it drawn. This looks like it's got a bit of honey in it too. Not quite as heavy as the first one, but they're going alright. Let's get down into our brood box. Yeah, these bees are a bit touchy today. Having a crack at my camera, on my iPhone anyway. So once again I can see brood down in there. Let's get in here and make sure they're not congested to the point where they're going to swarm on me. Nice frame of pollen on the wall. Fully laid up frame of brood on a nice frame of wax foundation. Looking good so far. This is an older frame. There's our queen walking around there. So let's grab her. Which gives me the freedom to do as I please in here, knowing that she's safe. And there's a nice frame of sealed brood. So you get to the stage where you've got the majority of these frames are sealed. They're going to swarm. So you really need to be ahead of them all the time and making sure they've got space. Feel the weight in this. Once again, full of brood. Quick scan for queen cells. That looks good. So coming out next is our drone trapping frame, and it's nicely drawn too, so that's great. I'll get all these to a point where they've all got drone comb in them, and when I get mites here, I haven't found any here yet, but that won't be long. I can start drone trapping by removing that piece of comb, putting it in the freezer, either coming back and putting it back in, or letting them redraw another section of the drone comb. Plus I'll have my green combs as well, which I can use as well. So there's a nice solid frame of brood, seal brood. It's the sort of thing people put up on Facebook saying, look how good my queens are. They never put up the crappy ones, but yeah, everyone can find a nice frame of seal brood like that. So these really need some attention in terms of making space. Nearly every comb there is pretty well laid up. So there's a plastic one that isn't quite drawn too well, so I'll definitely take it up. See what's going on here. And there's a comb of foundation I put in the other day, so it can stay there. Let's move that back. So not fully laid up. Get a frame of foundation. So you just drop that straight in there, and they'll go to work on that pretty quickly. So it just gives the queen space. It gives the bees something to do. They're thinking about building comb rather than making swarm cells and taking off on me. Push that in there. Get our wall frame back. So that's good. There's pretty much 6 frames of solid brood in there. So this population is going to take off. There goes our queen. Really not happy, these bees. Get out. Damn it. So a bit of smoke to push these down. Excluder on. Honey super back on. Now, just need to find a spot to put this brood comb that I pulled up. Let's have a look at what's going on here. There's nothing in that. Beautifully drawn. Look at that. Bit of shake coming out of them too, so that's what I want to see. Thank goodness. Shake those bees off and put that back in there. So anything in there will hatch out, and yeah, filled with honey. Nice strong hive. So there's that honey super back on, and there, any congestion in there's been freed up, and they can keep working on making a couple of boxes of honey for me. These hives that I'm looking at now are at the front of this load of 12, so the bees tend to drift into these front ones a little bit more, so they tend to be a little bit stronger. So they might even get an extra super on them at some stage. It's not quite as strong as the others. Squash a few beetles to make me feel better. Let's get down into this brood box. So we're down into the super. This is one of the hives that come up from Raleigh, which were kind of neglected. So I've done quite a bit of work on the brood boxes in these to bring them up to my standard. Let's have a look and see how they're going. Possibly not quite as strong as the last two, so we might not have to do too much here. So there's a frame there that I'll be looking to get out of the brood box, and these are nice drawn stickies that I've put back down. So yeah, this is not going to need too much work. Let's see where we get to some brood. Can't see anything there, but it wouldn't be far off being laid. This feels light as well. But yeah, there's eggs right through there, so she's laid that frame right up, which looks good. Won't look too much further. No chance of these guys swarming. There's even a bit of, that's laid up nicely too. So we've got some nice seal brood there. Beautiful and healthy. No disease issues. Let's look at our drone trapping comb, and it's nicely drawn out as well. So that's sealed up, and they're just starting to lay. And there's the queen wandering around there. I'll just grab her because I can. She's nice and safe there. So let's have a look at a few of these older combs. Might be able to identify one to pull out. Old but fully laid up, so that's good. I can feel the weight in that. Once again, old comb but fully laid up. We'll leave that wall frame where it is. So let's get a drop a frame of foundation in there. Drop that fella in there, and that'll breathe some life into that brood box. Damn it. Right, that's good. Let our queen go. There she goes. Glued her down. So once again, we've always trying to freshen up those brood combs every chance I get, and there's no congestion in there, so they're not going to swarm on me, which is the objective of what we're doing. Let's get this first honey super back on. So there's only 8 frames here in this 9 frame box. I'd love to fit another one in. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to. I'll just have to get extracted and fit a new one in when it gets extracted. See what's going on here. Just starting to put nectar in there. It's good. Right, don't want to muck around looking in honey supers too much. Plastic on. These bees are really unhappy for some reason. Righto, on to our last hive for this site anyway. see a lot of white wax, which is an indication of good conditions in a nectar flow. Let's have a quick look. Doing much there. So this comb, in contrast, is drawing nicely. That sort of stuff just gets tidied up when it goes in the extractor. And the reason why it's there is because this frame's a bit old and crooked. So you can see there, they're just joining them up. But yeah, the uncapping knife fixes all those problems. So let's get down into this brood box. So once again, I've got a box of green Pico drone comb there, just trying to get it drawn. And yeah, they're walking over it, but not doing much yet. That'll come. Let's get it off and into the brood box. So you can see straight away there, those bees are covering all the brood combs there. So yeah, that looks great. First time in years that I've had my bees really firing into spring, and got all my brood box work done well. Yeah, just to be confronted by this late nectar flow coming in, which has frustrated me. But yeah, they're on great conditions now, so that'll be sorted soon. So that wall frame has got honey and pollen in it, so it may be a candidate to come up out of the brood box. Let's see what's going on in here. Nice strong hive. It's once again a plastic comb with honey and pollen in it, so it may just stay on the wall. Let's move it back to there. This is a drone trapping comb, and it's been drawn out nicely, so they're doing their job. Just need to find some mites here to make use of it, which won't be long. So that's interesting. There's a queen cell there. There's queen cells there. So although they've hatched by the look of it, yeah. So I wonder what's going on there. There's a, so these might have swarmed on me. See what's going on. They don't look like they've swarmed. Let's see, just replacing a queen. Too many bees in here for them to swarm. Yeah, so there's a hatch cell. Interesting. More there. They're definitely swarm cells. Yep, queen in there. A bit late for that one. See if I can see any eggs in these frames. I've lost the sun. queen cell. Interesting. Hard to say what's going on there, whether they're doing a requeen, which I'm kind of thinking is the case because they haven't swarmed, and when there's that frame can come up, when there's hatching queens like that, yeah, they'd have already gone by now. So yeah, they may just be requeening, which they seem to be in the process of doing. I can't see any eggs in there. Let's get a couple of frames of foundation in there. Get one in there. Push that back. And we'll get one in here as well. That can be the wall frame now. We'll just get a frame of foundation in there so when they requeen they'll take off again. So anyway, not sure what's happening there, but I'm pretty sure they haven't swarmed. These frames out of the brood box, back up into there. A second super. Alright, so let's get that hive closed up. Yeah, not sure what's going on in there, but time will tell. I'll just make some notes to come back and recheck it in 10 days and see what they're doing. It's really all you can do when they've got hatched queen cells and numerous unmated queens running around in there. It's out of my control. So yeah, I should have been into this hive a few days earlier, but it is what it is. So we'll just see how that one goes.